Okay, welcome to Shotokan Sensei, my YouTube channel. This is Paul Walker. I run this channel. If you are a returning visitor, thank you for your support over the months and welcome back. I've been asked over the past few months, with many great comments that I've got on the site, I've been asked to do some videos on the terminology of karate. So I was kind of thinking about how I would best do this, and I've come up with an idea, so I'm trying it out with this first video here. Obviously we're covering some stances. We're covering the three main stances that we start learning when we do Shotokan. And let's go ahead and call this one stance A, this one stance B, and this one over here stance C. And as you can tell, if you have any kind of background in Shotokan, this is a front stance, this is a back stance, and this is a horse stance. So let's list these. We have A, stance A is called a zenkutsu-dachi. I'll come back and explain this in just a minute. Stance B is a kokutsu-dachi. That's the back stance. And then stance C is a kiba-dachi. That is the horse stance. So as you can see, the consistent thing in each of these is this word here, dachi. This means stance. Now in Japanese, the verb tatsu, T-A-T-S-U, means to stand. And this becomes tachi when we're talking about a noun. Tachi meaning stance. Now here we have da instead of ta, dachi. When tachi is added to the end of a word, so in this case zenkutsu-dachi, instead of saying tachi, it changes to dachi. It's just a function of the Japanese language. I could go into a deeper explanation, but let's just accept that if we're talking about tachi stance and it gets added to the end of a word, it becomes dachi. Same with punches. We're talking about tsuki, T-S-U-K-I, meaning punch, but added to the end of a word, as in oizuki, it becomes with a Z or a Z if you come from England. Same with keri, K-E-R-I, meaning kick. Added to the end of a word would be geri, G-E-R-I, as in maya-geri or mawashi-geri. So getting back to the stances here. So dachi meaning stance. Zen, this word here, this character in Japanese would mean front. Ko meaning back. And here, this little part here, kutsu, the character for kutsu means to bend. Okay, so essentially what this is saying is zenkutsu-dachi is a front bending stance. Let's just put stance right here just to be sure. So in this case, kokutsu-dachi would be a back bending stance. And then kiba-dachi, the ba part here means horse. And the ki part relates to horse riding. And this kanji for ki here is actually also a unit used to count the number of horsemen. So this is the riding a horse, or a man on a horse, horseman, so horse stance. Okay, so we've got stance A, this one here is the front stance, zenkutsu-dachi. Stance B is the back stance, kokutsu-dachi. And then stance C over here is the horse stance, kiba-dachi. Let me just change the pen color here. Okay, so as you can see, here's our zenkutsu-dachi, our front stance. This part, this knee here, this is carrying about 60% of the weight. And then this knee, therefore, is carrying about 40% of the weight. If we were to draw two lines here, two parallel lines, as you can see, there should be some width in the stance. A lot of people make this mistake when they're doing a front stance. If you look at it from this angle here, 1, 2, a lot of people make the mistake and they have the line of the stance straight, where the front foot is in line with the back foot. This provides for lack of stability, so this is not the right way to go. We need to have some width in the stance, and then the weight distribution should be about 60% on the front to 40% on the back. Now if we go to the back stance, the back knee is carrying the majority of the weight, in this case about 70%. These are just guidelines, it's not exact. And then the front knee would be carrying around 30% of the weight. And in this case, this stance is in a straight line with the feet. So the inside of the front foot is in line with the heel of the back foot. As you can see on this other picture, this is a straight line here. Inside of the front foot in line with the heel of the back foot. The posture, of course, should be straight up and down, vertical, right here, with the weight slightly back, therefore for providing the 70-30 weight distribution. Same on the front stance. The posture, as you can see, straight up and down. Sorry about my straight line there, it's not very good, is it? And then let's go over to the horse stance. Of course, as we know, the horse stance also, your feet are in a straight line, sideways in this case, and it should be pretty obvious that the weight distribution in the horse stance is 50-50. So here's the left knee, that's 50%, and then the right knee also 50%. And just like the other two stances, this has to be vertical. From the crown of your head down to the base of your spine, that should be in the middle of your 2 feet, creating a 50-50 posture. Again, as you can see on the side angle here, straight up and down, not leaning forwards, not leaning backwards. So these are the first 3 stances that you generally start learning in Shotokan Karate. Zenkutsu-dachi, meaning front stance, the kutsu meaning to bend, so it's literally a front bending stance, bending with the knee. Kokutsu-dachi, back stance, and then kiba-dachi, horse stance. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope you like the presentation, and I'll be doing a few more on terminology coming very soon. Thank you for your time.